Good evening, Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank. I want to give you an update as you head to bed, or something you probably scroll on your phone and check it out when you wake up, or look at 5 Plus, whatever it may be, or if you're a member of our Weather Watchers group. I want to give you a specific update on what's going on because, you know, some of you may understand what's going on. You've been following along, and that's great, but I've been trying to be as transparent as possible about this winter weather forecast to kind of give you an idea of what we look at so that you understand why things change over several time periods, whether or not it's the weekend, or I joked about showing the thing on my computer that said we were going to get 9 inches of snow 5 days from now, and let me just preface this. Too long didn't read. We're not getting 9 inches of snow. But let's look at a few things why we're not getting 9 inches of snow and kind of prepare you for what we're going to deal with, because that's what happens with these winter weather forecasts. I enjoy sharing some of this stuff with you. So let's get right into it, because obviously you can see behind me, it doesn't look all that impressive, right? This is a system that is starting to take shape, and I'll look at a different view of it, and I'm going to show you a little bit on the full screen here. We'll look at a couple of different things. One is it's just cloudy here for the most part. You're going to continue to see this pretty large piece of energy that continues to work its way over the Rockies. Is there a spot right now that doesn't have some sort of advisory, watch, or warning? Can you pick a color right now? Well, obviously, there are several spots, and it seems like we're just kind of jigsawed out of that. Let's look to the south. That's wind advisory. Let's look to the north. Winter storm warning, winter storm watch, winter weather advisory. We'll zoom in right now, and I'll show you where some of this stuff is and why we're not involved in it, because that's one of the reasons that we're kind of dealing with stuff. And it's not to say that we won't be involved in it, but you see the wind advisory to the south. Just looking at that. You've got winter weather advisory to the Kansas City area. Heavier snow to the north. We're talking St. Joe. And then for us, our one lone county that's involved in anything is Pike County, and that's Bowling Green, Eolia, winter storm watch, right? And, you know, that's kind of what we're dealing with, right? So here's what's going on. You know, obviously, there's nothing yet that involves us in a winter weather advisory, winter storm watch, anything like that, right? I think overall we're probably going to avoid that. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of these counties as I slide to the south. Let me move this. I'm working off two computers here, as we often do. I wouldn't be surprised to see Litchfield, Jerseyville, Carrollton, Troy, maybe in some sort of winter weather advisory tomorrow, even into Tuesday, right? But I think, you know, overall, if you're in St. Louis or you're to the south, once again, two computers, got to move those mouse pads here. You know, if you're to the south here, you're just not going to get quite as much snow. And I want to show you, I've been kind of giving you the model breakdown. Some of them are long-term models, some of them are short-term models. I freeze frame this at 8 o'clock on Tuesday. That's when the coldest air is settling in. And look at the differences. While they have similarities, look at one of them. You got model 1, which has been the most predominant model of let's get a ton of snow. It feeds it into the computer, and that's what shows up on my computer. I laugh about it. I say we're not going to do that. Second one has been kind of, well, let's wait and see, try to figure out if we're going to get any of this colder air on the backside of things. And then model 4 and then model 3 is really doesn't look like much, right? And I think it's all of the above to some degree, and that's what we look at. Several of these, we figure out where is that rain snow line going to set up and what other variables are involved in this. And that's what I want to look at right now. So let's kind of give you the best idea of what I think is going to happen. I'll put this back on the full screen, and then we'll come out here and talk about it a little bit. It's dry Monday morning. I'm going to give you the best hour by hour I can here. But by Monday morning, we're staying dry. There's no doubt about that. We're going to stay dry. You're going to get to work or school just fine. It's going to be cold tomorrow morning. But as we pause this by 4, 5, 6 o'clock, let's show you what's going on. And I could kind of relate this to a little bit of recency bias that we talk about. Well, what just happened the other day, right? We had almost an identical setup to some degree. More of it was on the Metro East side. We had pretty good amount of moisture that settled in. We had temps that stayed above freezing, but we also had some higher snowfall rates. This is where I think round one, where we may see something similar Monday evening. At this point, that's where I think we may see some of those snowfall rates that set up and make our visibility down. And we'll get to that for a lot of reasons, because I think that as you head to the north, there's going to be a pretty fine line. And it may not be right at St. Charles, right at Alton here in the river, but I think it's something to watch out for. I think north of 70 is going to be your best bet for that, at least at this point. You'll notice to the south here in the 40s, it's all rain, but watch what happens over the next few hours. Things transition to all rain. We have slightly warmer air, and the key for us, which I think really undercuts our snow chances overall, is we have a layer of dry air that's going to settle in, and it's going to warm us up enough where I think we get a break from the precipitation. You start off Tuesday morning, and if you're hoping for some sort of snow day on Tuesday, I just don't see that because temps are in the upper 30s and low 40s at this point. This is 6 a.m. But behind it, there's more cold air, and eventually we're going to see the colder aspect of that settle in. That's 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. You'll notice there are breaks in this, but there are going to be some fingers of heavier snowfall. Temperature is still warm here, but starting to cool down behind it quickly. And that's where I think we're going to see the accumulating snow area-wide. It's just how much do we get from that? And then you tack it on to some of those areas that did pick up snow when we overcame those warm snowfall rates. So I think you look at round one being a lot like Friday night and round two being, well, okay, we're starting to get cold. That's more of a typical snowfall that we get. The other thing that I haven't talked about quite as much is look at some of the wind gusts. This is going to be a visibility factor that I think is really going to get into us because I think by Monday afternoon, the winds are going to gust over 30 miles an hour pretty consistently. Let's watch this Monday afternoon going into Tuesday, and specifically Monday night when those big snowflakes are flying around, that wind's coming out of the east, it is going to be a little difficult to see in some cases. So that's one thing where we may see a few gusts of 40 miles an hour. So let's time things out from a simplistic standpoint and talk about what we're dealing with. 7 p.m. on Monday, rain, snow mix, temperatures above freezing. 7 a.m. on Tuesday, we've got a few showers and rain showers mixed with snow showers as well, but we also have some dry air that's settling in. And so you're not going to see that widespread amount of precipitation. But by the second half of the day, that's when the rain changes to snow, colder air settles in. As temperatures are below freezing, it's windy again with all snow at that point, and that's where it's colder. That's where the roads may slicken up. So let's go into specifics for St. Louis because you're going to start off Monday morning, temps in the 30s, it's cold, it's dry, but rain doesn't pick up till the afternoon. And when it does, it'll eventually change to snow as temps are back in the mid-30s. So let's look at Tuesday because we'll start out with rain with some of that drier air that I mentioned, but then you'll see sort of a break and then rain, snow settles in as it kind of changes over and then eventually changes over to all snow. You'll watch from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and that's where we have temperatures that are falling below freezing. This is our window for not only accumulating snow, for also for slick conditions on the roadways. So that's something I want to look out for as well. I picked Eolia because we have a few weather watchers up there, and we always appreciate your photos. But it's also one of the spots that's in that winter storm watch, and maybe kind of dealing with, hey, are we going to get a little more snow? You are going to get a little more snow, and here's why. You're just about the same for Monday, but your rain snow starts a little earlier. This is where you could pick up that snow that was really similar to what happened in a lot of areas on Friday night, where your temperatures are still above freezing, but the rain snow rates that's a pretty big heavy snow flakes that are going to stick in the grass. Like I said, low impacts on the roads for some degree, but I think you're also going to look at some visibility here. Then we'll start off with temps warming up, and some of that's going to melt. So there's a small window there. But as we transition to 36 and then 32, you transition to snow a little sooner. It gets colder, and that's where I think we'll have to watch for maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow at least. So let's look at some of the snowfall accumulations and kind of give you the best guess here at this point, because I've really whittled this down the best that I could, because I think from Sparta, Perryville, Mount Vernon, you're not going to get too much snow. This is mostly rain. 1 to 2 inches for most of the city and most of the area in general. I think what you get really northwest of St. Charles, Jerseyville, even in Alton, that's where there's going to be a fine line of where that snow and colder air settles in a little sooner, and that brings us between 2 to 4 inches there. I think really from Eolia, it is possible, depending on some guidance on how cold it gets, that you could get over 4 inches of snow pretty easily, depending on how much accumulates Monday night and then how cold it gets on the secondary half of things Tuesday. If we had a better opportunity for not being able to see that drier air settling in, we'd get a lot more overall, I think, as we've had that colder air. But I think overall, that's going to be one thing that we look at specifically. So for the most part, That's really the big story for us is how much snow we're going to get. I think a lot of us are going to see low impacts from this, but if I'm pinpointing a time frame, it's going to be a late Tuesday and early Wednesday that it gets the coldest and maybe the slickest just because temperatures are finally going to fall below freezing. And that's where you may see some issues on the roadways. Otherwise, it's Monday night as the wind picks up and also those big snowflakes fall. So those are the things that we're looking for right now as the two main specific times, Monday night and then Monday evening into the overnight and early Wednesday. So those are the times that we'll watch. There's another couple of snowstorms that we're going to watch, or at least opportunistic. It's going to get cold. I mean, I'm just going to flash up the 10-day forecast for you here, or I'll at least just flash up the 7-day forecast because this is where you're really going to feel it. Not only is the wind chill going to pick up, but we're going to struggle to get over 20 degrees a couple days beyond that. So we'll watch out for that. I'm going to keep you posted on the snow. Anthony will be in the morning. So please feel free to ask any questions. We'll do our best to answer them for you. We know winter weather gets kind of iffy here, but we'll do our best to answer them for you and stay safe on the roads there overall. But like I mentioned, we'll try to see what we can do with that snow for Monday and all the way through Wednesday.